Hello, I'm Arnold Kerloff, and I want to go over the annual maintenance on the Air and Surface Pro Plus, or the Pure and Clean made by Air's identical unit. Um, Usually what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and turn the unit off first, and then we're going to go ahead and I am going to unplug the unit right here. Now, there's a few tools that you probably want to get. Now, when you get your Air and Surface Pro Plus, it comes with a manual, and on page 8 and 9, they've got the directions on how to do this, but it comes with a little bitty screwdriver. And while it is a Phillips screwdriver and it will work, it because it's so small and the screw was set in probably by a machine, it's in there pretty tight. So I'm going to recommend that you get a Phillips screwdriver. The size of the Phillips screwdriver is 1, and also a flathead. This here just so happens to be a universal where I can change things. And what we're going to do, we're going to turn the unit around. Now, the manufacturer suggests that we change the ozone plate and also the active pure cell once a year. That will keep the unit to optimum performance. Okay, you want to keep it at peak performance. And as you can see on this one here, I've got my business card so people can reach me if they've got any questions. But right here on the back of the unit on this cover plate, there's 2 areas that says press. And when you press those in, the grill on the back comes off very easy. Now, this could be vacuumed right now, both sides of it, but I take them out, and I'm going to do a little bit more thorough cleaning than that. And then you've got your filter here. Now, remember that this is an air purifier, not an air filter. This filter here is to protect the machine against particulate getting in it. And right up here at the very top, there's a little tiny Phillips screw. And I'm going to undo that. And you can see how small that little screw is. Now, is it necessary? No, it's not. But most of the time, I put it right back in when I'm done. And the annual maintenance requires that you replace the ozone plate. It comes like this. And you ought to have some of these on, at least one in stock at your home so you can change it. Very simple. And this case is something now I would recommend keeping for this reason. During the year, if you've got animals, there'll be an ammonia buildup on this plate, and you can do a 50-50 ammonia water in here, let it soak for about 8 minutes, take a toothbrush and brush this off really good, and then set it up so it can dry. If you don't have a second plate to put in there, blow dry this one and then put it in. You don't want to put it in wet. It says air dry after cleaning for 24 hours. So we're going to replace that. And like I said, this brush here, you could vacuum it out. I went ahead and I ordered a extra filter in addition. So I'm going to totally change this filter out. It's 12 months old, not a big deal. And then once we take that out, we come into the unit, and the ozone plate or the activated oxygen plate is right here. And you just simply slide that out just like that. And the other one will slide in. We're going to wipe all this out. We're going to unscrew these thumb screws. Sometimes they're really tight. And if they are, what you'll end up doing is using the flathead screwdriver right here. And you put it in that groove and just unscrew it like that. But it's a thumb screw, so it's thumbnail tight. And as you can see right here, this here just snaps. It unplugs and it slides out. I'm going to hold this up to you. So you see that little clip right there? You just press on that button and it releases. You pull that out, and we're going to replace the new unit. But one of the things that I want to do, since I'm not doing this maintenance monthly as far as deep clean on the machine, I'm going to take the machine, I'm going to take this top grill off of it also. Now, it could be clean. It's not too dirty, but I want to clean my fan blade also. So I'm going to change that flathead screwdriver to this Phillips screwdriver. And if you look carefully right here, there's some Phillips screws, and I'm going to unscrew these. And after you get the screws out and you take off the top, it just kind of snaps out. So I'm putting this stuff where I can see them because I do not want to lose these screws. And once again, it's fairly simple, easy to do. So we got those screws out, and I got them there. Now, if you look at this, this is going to snap up, and then it's going to slide toward away from the front of the machine, and then it lifts up. And once again, I can see the dust. You probably can't see it from your location. And the tools that you need are the Phillips screwdriver and the flat screwdriver. Remember, you got one in there, but also a little pair of pliers. And the reason you need this is, I don't know, I guess, yep, you can see that fan blade is really kind of crusty. And this is called an acorn nut. We're going to undo this acorn nut, and we're going to take the fan blade there, and I'm going to go ahead. Once you unloosen that, once again, you can just unscrew that acorn nut with your fingers. It's pretty easy to get off. And I am going to lift the blade off of the shaft that it comes on with. It comes off like that. And as you can see, that blade is pretty crusty. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video for a second, and I'm gonna clean all the inside of the machine, the shroud. This is called the shroud right next to it. It's not terribly dirty. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down. Then we're gonna put the new equipment back in and check it, turn it on, get it back operating. So let me pause the recording while I clean. So now that we've got the parts of the unit cleaned, well, that looks a little better, huh? We're going to start reassembling everything. Goes in just the opposite way that everything came out. So I'm going to start by putting the fan blade back in. Everything goes in reverse order. And this shaft has a flat spot on it, so the fan blade can only go in one way. And yet I'm having difficulty doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the acorn nut back on the shaft for the fan motor. And I am going to give it a little snugness with this pair of pliers, but you don't need to over tighten it. There's no real pressure that's on there. And one of the other things that I didn't mention when we first started doing this was we get an alcohol wipe, and the contacts that go up against the ozone plate, I'm going to go ahead and clean those off. Now, this new ozone plate, it's got the directions, Air and Surface Pro Plus, so it goes in directly like that. And it's got to go in the grooves that are made, and you can actually hear it kind of ratchet in there, just like that. Now, this plate has a ceramic piece in between both sides of it. If that ever gets cracked, you'll hear snapping noise on your unit. And what's going on, it's arcing. So you want to be careful with the plate. It's pretty delicate. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put the new RCI cell back in. And as I shared earlier, it just goes right in there. And that fitting's going to snap. See if you can hear it. don't know if you heard it, but heard a little snap. And then we're going to put the thumb screws back on there. If it's the first time you're taking them off, they were probably a little difficult to get off. Once again, just need to be thumb tight. Okay. Got that one in. Got that one in. And we gave these grills. This here's the back grill, and this is the top grill. They're a little bit different. There's only one way to put it in. But if you look at it carefully, you'll see these little tabs that are in there. Those tabs have to be dipped in, and then it's going to snap in. So we're going to put them in like this. And then we're going to apply very little force, and it snaps right in. And we've got to put these two Phillips screws back in that we had taken out earlier. And I've got my Phillips screw right there. So I went ahead and I tightened both of the screws in there. We've got the RCI cell in, plugged in, the new plate, and it's time now to put the filter that protects the equipment in. And it's got a long tab. It can only go in one way. When this is taken out, it's safety where it doesn't allow electricity in there. And we're going to put that little tiny screw back in to hold the filter in place. But once again, not necessary. And yet, put it back in. I like when I'm demoing a unit, I like for that screw to already be out. That way I can show them the features of the inside of the piece of equipment. Once again, the tabs go at the bottom. These, let's see, you can see them there, the little points that are, they snap in. So I'm going to sit in there like that. And you're going to press it together at the same time. And it snaps right back in place. And we're going to plug it in and verify that the UV light is functioning. And we'll go from there. So let's see what we've got. Move that out the way. Turn the power back on. And I've got, if you look on the inside, you can see it lit up in there. That little greenish glow. That's the bulb. And we're going to turn on the A Pure Plus. And as you notice, it went 500 square feet in there. And if you wanted to increase that, you can go 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And the reset button is right next to the fan speed. I'm going to go ahead and turn the unit off. I'm going to hold that down. And you hold it down for about 3 seconds and it beeps. And that should do it for this unit. So anyway, that's the annual maintenance. Get it back up running. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video.